You have nothing to be scared about.
Boo!
This is my boomstick!
Don't you ever raise your voice at me! I am your mother!
Little pigs, let me come in.
It rubs the lotion on its skin or else it gets the hose again.
Do you want a balloon too, Georgie?
I'm not supposed to take stuff from strangers.
We would like to apologize for scaring you this morning, but after much deliberation, we feel this would be the best way for you to go missing.
From Milwaukee, it's Movie Chatter.
Hey, cool. Hey, welcome to Movie Chatter Podcast, episode 206. I'm Dave.
I'm Don.
I'm Bill.
And Kelly wishes she was here.
She was here
we
5
are
minutes.
missing her.
She was here 5 minutes ago.
Oh, and she was dropping this off.
Check that shirt out
That
on
is
air.
cool. Where do you get something like that? Wow.
I have no idea. You have
On
to
air.
check it out on YouTube. So,
A cool shirt for you. Yeah, happy birthday, horror guy.
it's Halloween.
We are just happy to be here.
We're happy to be here. If you see us on YouTube, you'll notice that
You'll be scared.
this podcast room is completely
It's crazy.
completely changed.
You got 1.7 liter bottles of liquor holding up the microphones right now.
The horror.
I made these mic stands like
Oh, you've got to see these mic stands. If you're listening to the podcast, switch to YouTube. Don't even tell them.
They're fun.
They're
yeah, now
crazy.
Crack that open too.
all right, yeah, we're gonna
We're gonna do a little chocolate Leinenkugel.
Love this background music. Good job, Dave.
it's Halloween.
John Carpenter.
Love that. It's just the creepiest song.
Classic. Yeah. Try this.
Oh, we've got a horror movie on the screen up there.
Yeah. So Dave decided to redo the podcast room.
And it was supposed to be, like we're gonna take a couple days off or something.
Mm-hmm.
So it may be a little more echoey. Let me know if this room sounds echoey because it's a lot more open now, and
I don't
Yeah,
know.
without the couch, it's a lot bigger.
We're centered in the room. Basically, you turn the table 90 degrees, so now we have a nice view of the Tom Cruise Vanilla Sky and Florence Pugh Midsummer.
well, the thing is,
posters.
it's
Movie
2020.
posters.
We thought it's time to get rid of the
21.
cast. The casting couch had to go.
The casting.
Yeah.
It hasn't worked for years.
No.
Ever since
Cannot get in here.
Ever since Beth.
Oh my God! So that's a
is it-
Leinenkugel chocolate dunkel
It is excellent.
Lager with cocoa.
with cocoa.
Well, how do you say that word? That's not cocoa. What is that? Cacao?
Cacao.
Cacao nibs and natural chocolate flavors.
God, it sounds naughty.
Cacao nibs.
God, cacao.
I didn't say nips.
I love cacao nibs.
I prefer
Whatever they
a
are.
chocolate nip to a cacao nib,
All
but
right.
I'll take what I can get.
So
right.
Bill, what do you think about this situation? I mean, we could do
I love it.
Wow,
we
that
could do
is
like
good.
a two-person podcast. We could watch
That's chocolate
a
beer.
movie right there
We're
and kind of
drinking
just
chocolate beer.
I love it. So you put a 75-inch screen on the wall now.
Mm-hmm.
The couch is gone. We've got a lot of room to breathe here.
Mm-hmm.
You've got the sound deadening things on the wall.
We
so
we
on
no
one
longer
side,
have the
one
giant octopus of mic stands in the
Right,
center
so-
of the
so I'm
table.
I'm building from scratch.
Yeah, it's a lot more room.
There's a lot more room for activities.
Yeah, I'm going to build some mic stands that don't vibrate and will be just like this, but about another 6 inches lower. So that should be good.
Yeah.
I mean, these actually work pretty good.
I do like this
I've got
setup.
one at home I can bring.
Dave and I, was it yesterday or today? where we were testing out different seating
Yeah, I
positions.
think yesterday I started gutting this room, and
There was a sawzall involved.
we were doing all kind of crazy crap.
But then we put the chairs in a multiple, like 10 different positions, and it ended up that really, the same square 4 position is the best.
This is
with
the
4
best way
people.
to talk.
We wanted to do it in a banana shape with everybody like on an NFL,
Right,
pregame show
Yeah.
where they're all
On a curve.
in the screen, the camera's shooting at you, and everybody's kind of on an arc. But
since our budget is -$9,
Well, it's a hobby, but
we may still try
it's
that.
fun.
We may still try that.
I'll just keep on trying stuff. I have, wood is actually back down to 2018 prices, so
There you go.
you can hit Home Depot and yeah.
I love this table that you made.
Yeah.
This is amazing. It
It's-
looks like such real wood and everything, but it's just a
a
cover.
rich mahogany. Yeah. Many leather-bound books.
What are we going to talk about today? So it's Halloween.
I guess you talk about horror, but whatever you want to talk about.
Hey, I got a message from Tim from Lighting Up the Marquee,
Oh, yeah.
and
What does it say?
I told you about it, Don. You're supposed to remember.
Well, you could refresh our memories.
I was trying to bounce it back and forth between
shoot.
us.
Oh, shoot.
Nick. And
Nick.
He's going to visit Nick.
Here's my take.
He's going to visit.
Oh.
Right. He's going to visit Nick in the first week of December.
Yes. Now, see, I have a poor memory.
I do too.
I may have been drinking earlier in the day when you
Are
mentioned
they
it.
Are they
so-
both in Chicago?
No.
Tim is in.
Tim is in Indianapolis.
Oh.
I mean,
Or-
Indiana, rather.
Indiana.
6 hours away from here.
And Nick is in Illinois, and yeah, so he's going to visit him in December, and gosh, we're hoping that it'll work out that they can come down and do a show with us
Because I can
That'd
actually.
be great.
I can actually piggyback my old mixing board, so that will give us 7 mics in here.
Oh, it would be a lot of talk.
Can you imagine if we got everybody in here?
It'd be awesome.
It would.
As long as, each person didn't talk over the other person.
Well, we'll have to have little paddles. I want to talk.
It could be a long podcast, but hey, if you haven't,
That's what it's all about, chatting.
It is.
About movies and other things.
I'll just listen.
listen to Lighting Up the Marquee's one-off episode that they just did. He's kind of on hiatus.
Okay.
He definitely is on hiatus, but they did an episode, and I've talked about it before, about their little short movie that they're doing. Sushi.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it was really fun to listen to that whole thing with Tim and Nick and the writer, who I'm going to forget, Alex, I believe.
Okay.
And it was really interesting to hear their stories about the production, from the standpoint of people who had, this is really their, kind of their first thing that they got some money for and were able to really, let their creative juices flow and do something that they really wanted to do. It's fun to listen to, so definitely check that out.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Bill.
I wonder if when they were kids.
They are kids.
They
Still
are,
big.
yeah.
Compared to us?
Yeah,
They're
compared
little,
to.
they're little babies.
But I mean,
Yeah.
when they were teenagers,
Okay.
I wonder, because, kids can do this now with an iPhone, right? I mean, you can, there are literally good movies being made with iPhones now.
Right.
So I wonder if they made their own movies when they were
Oh, that's
when they were
interesting.
teenagers.
Yeah,
mean,
just like
he-
Spielberg.
That's a
did.
question I have for them.
He had film school
Right.
movies, but did he do
All
stuff?
three of them went to Columbia
I mean,
Wow.
Don and I were making movies.
That's one of the best places for theater.
When you could-
movie making.
The first digital camera. We were making some movies in, what was that, in the 90s, right?
Yeah, in the 90s when digital was just starting.
Like
and it was
1
terrible.
megapixel.
Yeah, it was awful.
Oh God, it was so grainy.
Gosh, check out our YouTube version of Crimson Fields.
Crimson Fields. There you go.
We did a trailer of of a slasher movie.
Oh God, you should burn that.
No, it's great.
All right, you guys, you're just you got a lot of guts.
Bodies Hit the Floor
Do whatever you want.
is the soundtrack to that one.
Oh yeah, that's good. Love that song.
This isn't too distracting, Bill, with this TV going in.
Well,
I mean, if there's
I'm
a
looking
sex
up there,
scene.
yeah, they're kissing now.
Okay. We got the Conjuring going
Wow,
on in the
nice.
background.
Yeah,
Oh, see, that's why
don't
I want to
remember
have
The Conjuring.
all the chairs on that side so I can be watching
Well,
that too.
you get distracted way too easy, and then I'll be like having
Then
to
the
tap you on the shoulder.
Then the camera's over here shooting everybody that way. Anyway,
Halloween.
All right.
Halloween.
Halloween. Happy Halloween.
God, I thought I had some notes written down here, and
There's a lot of
It's
great
scary
stuff to
how
watch.
much Kit Kats and Butterfingers I can eat when the kids don't come up to the door, and I go, I'll just have one. Well, maybe another one.
One more. I think I
Did you get many kids today?
This will be the last one. Oh my God, it's empty. No.
I'm about
No?
12.
12 kids?
No, 12 candies in today.
Oh, are you really?
Yeah.
So
I wasn't
what are-
allowed to eat
What are you
anything.
doing? Reese's peanut butters. What do you got?
All the best. A mix. Everything.
Kit Kats.
We had
Kit Kats, Milky Way, Mounds, Reese's Peanut Butter Cups,
we had a
Three Musketeer bar,
cracker.
All right, those
Or
are
the
all the
crunch.
Rolos.
best.
You know.
Rolos.
Rolos are fantastic.
Are they?
You
Okay.
had Rolos?
Yeah.
Man.
Like a little mini, like what are you getting at? Like 3 Rolos?
Two. You get two
Oh,
Rolos.
2 Rolos, yeah.
And they're already pre-peeled, so you can just pound them.
Nice.
Pound the Rolo.
Yeah. We did do a little Sour Patch and really went all out, did a little COVID thing. She made a ghost out of whiteboard.
Okay.
And then we cut a hole in the middle of it where his mouth was. And I went and bought what would have been like a downspout extender, which you can think of as a long plastic slide.
Okay.
And we attached that to the house, and the ghost was out on the edge of the patio there. And you put the candies in the slide, and it comes out the ghost's mouth.
Nice.
And you just have to tell the kids, put your basket under the ghost's mouth. It was a little bit complicated, but it was fun.
Did it work, or did it hit the
It
ground?
worked. It worked. It totally worked. They would all, of course, go past the ghost to the door, and you had to go back and put your basket in front of the ghost's mouth. He's gonna vomit candy into your
Okay.
basket.
Oh, kind of like the macaroni and cheese vomiting guy from Mandy.
And then she had each one. It was individually in a little Ziploc bag that said "boo" on it, and then each one had like 3 or 4 candies in it. So it was a little bit overkill, but it was really fun,
Cool.
and the kids liked it.
Successful Halloween. It's actually perfect weather.
It was great.
Yeah. Not
Mm-hmm.
raining. I mean, this is Wisconsin, where might as well be in Canada. It's very cold.
Did you watch any of these type movies?
I did watch Halloween.
Good for you. I
mean-
thought a lot about Halloween movies and horror movies.
Yeah, I had a bunch of lists, and let me tell you, they have all disappeared doing this, gutting this room.
Sure.
I only have one note. I'll show the camera.
Oh, hit it.
One little no. I mean, we can talk about it, but my top 6 most fun horror movies.
Oh, that sounds like a good list.
Oh man, love it.
Most fun.
Well, fun like
Fun for you.
they're not all like comedy fun.
Okay.
Number 5, Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Oh, well, that's
I
Gotta
never
be the
laughed
number
so
one.
much all my life.
Yeah.
God.
Of
I
the-
think the 5th time I watched it, I was not laughing as much, but it's just because they take it so seriously. They're
Yeah.
just so stupid, but they're serious. I'm laughing just thinking about it. Anyway, where can you see that?
I have no idea.
Okay, I'll
I have
look it
no
up.
idea. Yeah,
I'll see if I can
all
find
the
it.
notes are gone.
classic.
Classic.
What's number 2?
Number 4.
4.
Can we go with? We're going backwards.
I thought it was 6 that you had. Did I? I thought you said
No,
6.
I thought you said 5.
Oh, did you?
I actually have 6 done. I didn't think I said that, but Krampus was number 6. And then Tucker and Dale versus Evil. I put Krampus. It's really a Christmas movie, but you kind of watch it anytime you want to.
Sure you do.
Have you ever watched Krampus? You probably have never even seen it.
I thought it was very good.
It's very good. I mean, it's
Choose not to answer that question. I fail to incriminate myself.
maybe we'll have to watch it because it'll be on the screen sometime. It's well, I mean,
okay.
it's full tilt comedy horror. It's like Home Alone or a house full of you know what it is, Bill? It's like National Lampoon's Vacation with a horror movie mixed in there.
Is it really?
Exactly.
Wow.
That's what it is.
Well, that's a good way to say it because that's
I
getting
can't
me
find
interested.
where
Oh,
I'm on IMDb. I
That's
can't
okay.
find out
That's
where,
okay.
where you watch it.
Forget
But
it.
it's worth it.
We're just talking.
Yeah.
All right.
What's your next one?
Because we have full explanations why we're not prepared this week. It was last minute. We have our mics are on bottles of booze. I have Captain Morgan. Bill has Tanqueray. Don has a cheap bottle of rum. Number 4, The Babysitter.
Love that. Love that.
I mean,
Man, she looked
the original one, right?
Yeah, I'll take both of them, but that one was terrific.
Yeah.
There's a
God, I don't wanna-
babysitter too now.
There is, yeah.
That it's not as good.
It's not as good. It's
It's a little
the guy's a
forced.
little bit more older now. Now he's in high school.
Is the
and
babysitter still in it?
that
actress with the lips?
Yeah, but not as much. Not nearly as much. There's
Okay.
there's another one. I thought it was pretty hot, but
All right.
So I'm going to kind of go
First
off.
one is great. Okay.
I'm going to kind of like,
And that's a bit of a comedy in a way. Would you call
a
it?
bit of a comedy.
Oh,
I would
yeah.
say it's 100% comedy.
Okay.
not
Just
100%. But
I mean,
you know,
with blood.
It's
yeah,
very light.
It is. It's it's the occult. They're trying to
The best is when
conjure up some demons
Yeah,
and
don't
whatnot.
give it away. It's
Not
it's-
too much. I
No,
mean,
no, we can give.
everybody's
movies away.
seen The
Yeah.
Babysitter.
I'm not saving that. But like, when the screen in big letters says "What the fuck,"
yeah.
when the kid's up on the stairs.
Is that what it's? Samari weaving. There you go.
Right.
That's who it is.
From
A lot of
what did we
stuff.
just watch? She was just on.
White Lotus? No, no.
Not the White Lotus.
She was very different in
Nine
Nine
Perfect-
Perfect Strangers.
That's it. Nine Perfect
Yeah.
Strangers. Yeah.
She needs to put on a little weight though. She's very angular and
Without her fluffy blonde hair, she was skinny.
Right.
yeah, she's very good though. Okay, that's a terrific one. I think it's still a little a notch under Krampus.
I'm going to take a side note just because of the music I'm playing horror music in the background.
Mm-hmm.
This is Suspiria, the new one. I believe this is the new one, but that's a movie that everybody should see. If you haven't seen the new Suspiria,
I've always been meaning to see that. It looks really trippy.
it is. I highly recommend it. It's a witch movie.
Is that a remake of the old Suspiria?
Yeah, it is. And people apparently love the original one much more. I don't. It's not as good.
Well, I enjoy Chloe Grace Moretz and Tilda Swinton. Are they both terrific in there?
And who's the other person? One more star.
Dakota Johnson.
Yeah, Dakota Johnson is the star of the movie.
Oh,
If you like her,
I do love
she
her.
is terrific in it.
Don Johnson's daughter.
Yep. Okay, that was a little side. Now, behind me, there's a poster. That would be number 3.
Wow.
The camera can't
Drag
go
me
that direction.
Drag me to hell.
You could spin the camera.
I
couldn't
could,
you?
but then I have to refocus and do
Okay.
all that kind of stuff.
All right, yeah. Drag
So
me
over
to
there.
hell.
We get a
Justin Long.
Oh yeah. Now is that as funny?
It's not as funny. It's more like The Evil Dead with a little bit more comedy. Have you ever seen that, Bill?
I think I have, and I liked it.
I mean, I bought the poster. I put it in here to try to, maybe to subconsciously make you watch it. Like, I see
I
that
liked
poster
it.
every week. Maybe I should watch it.
And if I like it, it means it wasn't too gory. It's going to have gore, but it was fun. I remember it was like there was action. It kept going, and it
Okay.
sucked me in.
Yeah.
I don't think he saw it.
Good stuff.
I don't think he saw
Drag
it.
Me to Hell.
Drag Me to Hell.
Allison Lohman and Justin Long are the main leads there.
Number 2, Trick or Treat. That would be.
I don't remember that one.
That is Mike Daughtry. He did the Godzilla, King of the Monsters. That was what he did before that.
With Anna Paquin
Right.
from things like she played Rogue. You know her as
Yeah.
Rogue in the X-Men
Yeah.
movies.
It's more your pure, funny, way over the top.
Comedy horror. That's what they're calling it.
You know, it's like Krampus also. You know, it's comedy horror.
Sure. High school stuff going on.
I'm just trying to talk because
Yeah,
I
keep it
lost
going.
all my notes.
Keep it going. I love it.
Number 1.
Number 1.
Now, this is my number 1 pick for the most fun. Number 1 pick for best horror movie to watch, period, this year.
Wow.
If you haven't seen it.
Okay. What
We've
is it?
all seen it.
This is just kind of a suggestions
Yeah, this isn't a
thing
review.
going on.
All right.
The best movie you can see,
Give it to
Anything for Jackson,
me. Oh.
on Shudder.
Oh, no, that's pure horror. Well, I mean, it's not.
It still has that dark comediness.
It does. It does. But on that fine edge of dark comedy where it's barely comedy,
Right.
but it's so absurd that it's like, you know, that there's a little bit of.
That's like Killing of a Sacred Deer. I
Comedy to
just read about someone did a review and they were like, if you want the absolute most pure horror, no fun, nothing, watch
Anything
Killing of a Sacred Deer. But
Okay.
I've watched it so many times that to me it's now dark humor because it's so absurd. It has to be. You've probably never seen it.
No, I've been meaning to because it's one of your favorites. You
Anything
allude to
for
it a lot.
Jackson. Yeah.
Oh,
Would you
Canadian. It's a Canadian movie.
we're way past anything for Jackson, but go ahead.
Is that what you call it? Dread? You call
Dread.
it dread horror?
No. We're talking. Oh, Don was so into his iPad that when I changed it to Killing of a Sacred Deer,
Oh, I heard that, but I thought that was part of the Anything But Jackson monologue.
oh, I don't know where I'm going. I'm just talking. I'm just talking. Anything for Jackson, the best movie. Have you seen it? If you haven't, you need to see it.
You do. And if you haven't seen that, where can they see Scare Me? That's a really fun one.
The same place, Shudder.
Yeah.
I can't stress that Shudder is only $4.95 a month.
People that love Halloween should just get it for October and just go nuts.
And it's not like if you forget to cancel it or whatever, it's $4.95.
Right. It's like, okay, one less, Starbucks coffee.
And you'll get, all the good all the good Halloween movies on there.
Yeah. Great acting in that. And that was just an independent movie.
And they're pumping out, that's where you see Nocturne, right?
Nocturne. Love Nocturne. That was on my recent faves list.
Yeah. So all these are movies that
You can now see Nocturne on other stuff.
okay.
You can see that on like Prime.
Now that Sydney
Probably have
is,
to pay for it.
now that Sydney's
Yeah.
taking over.
Right. Sydney Sweeney. She's a good actress.
Who was good in. She didn't do much in.
The White Lotus.
Yes, she was amazing.
The White
But
Lotus.
in Night Teeth.
No.
Oh, Night Teeth.
Good Lord,
But she
Bill.
has a great outfit. I mean, she
you
really
see it just for her leather outfit.
she is
They were on the
She's really
screen
looking
for
good.
under 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's like, was it Megan Fox and her?
There's
right.
just
There's a
that
third
was
one
it.
as well.
A quick paycheck. The movie wasn't bad. What I wanted to tell you,
I liked it.
Did you notice, because now you have a
Debbie
big,
Ryan
a big
also is a
SVS
notable
subwoofer.
actress.
You have a big SVS subwoofer.
Yes.
Did you notice the soundtrack was just pounding the whole time?
No, I think I just was into the show, and it was just fun. It was just kind of crazy, good pacing.
Oh, you must have had the volume. I mean, that movie, of anything I've heard this year, nonstop, thundering subwoofer.
Okay,
Nice.
come to think of it, yes.
Because
You had told me about that, right?
all the dance music going
And that's
on.
why I turned
Yeah.
it on. Oh,
Okay,
yes.
right.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's why I turned it on. It was...
I like those. I mean, those are like, you know, you talk about horror movies. It's barely horror. It's that vampire genre, which is super broad. I mean, that goes very broad. It could go from Midnight Mass, you know, to Night Teeth, but it's really fun. I like that sort of young, hip vampire feel that this one has.
I can't believe we.
Yeah, it was great, and I love the chauffeur, the guy who's never chauffeured before. Come on, brother, let me be a chauffeur. And so he turns out his first ride is with two vampire gals.
I mean, it was a very artistic movie. It was all neon and
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
it looked like I thought that movie was great. You don't even have to have it. I should probably throw it on.
Go ahead, pop it on.
I should probably throw it on because I think the
if you can do
people
it.
can see the corner of the screen, right? Can they see the corner of the screen?
Yes, they can.
So they can see what we're watching here.
That's
But,
fun. But I like the party hopping. I love the young, hip, rich. I love when they just say that vampires are rich. You know, so it just gives it that fun. It's just a
And
fun
they
atmosphere.
should be if they've been around for like
Did you watch the
Right.
whole
400 years.
Right, it
Your
seems like-
401k is going to look pretty good.
You know, if you're, it's all about that.
Oh, Bill, speaking of another subwoofer shaking movie right there.
I did see, yes, Hypnotic.
Did you watch it?
The whole thing.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
movie.
we could talk about Hypnotic.
Yeah, let's
man.
talk about it.
Nice. Night Teeth reminds me of one that I was going to mention, which was just the Halloween hero, which is Blade. You know, the whole Blade trilogy.
Right.
It's really not anything to do with Halloween, but if you like vampires, I enjoyed those. Those are getting pretty old. They're getting ready to be remade. And that's
Really?
yeah, they are. Yeah, absolutely, with a super duper cast. But
There's so much.
particularly the third one with Ryan Reynolds
And that one, people say
Jessica
it's the
Biel.
worst.
They do, but it's the most fun because that's when they just get they're just over the top.
Over the top. I mean, how can you not like Ryan Reynolds in that movie?
And Jessica Biel with that, you know, she was at just 0% body fat and with the Archer and
Right, they had the arrows.
arrows.
Yeah, she was like
Chris
that. And
Christopherson's in there.
what did she do? She did the other horror movie also. Chainsaw. What am I thinking of?
Did she? Oh, the original Chainsaw Massacre?
No.
I mean the remake
The
of
remake,
it.
yeah,
Yes,
she
she
was-
did do that. That is very good point. Yep, she did do that.
Yeah, look at this night teeth. It just starts off with all this ultra neon.
Yeah, she did the 2003 Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
We're just going to apologize. This is not our normal
You know, you talked about
format.
Green Knight last time.
Oh,
which is
yeah.
a
Yeah.
different kind of.
Oh,
It's not really a horror movie, or I don't know. It's a
Yeah, you've seen. I think we should switch over to what Bill's been watching because I did give you the Green Knight.
Oh, I didn't bring it home. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
Did you watch it,
no,
though?
I have
Yeah.
a 4K copy.
I did watch it. Yes, absolutely.
We'll come back to horror.
We'll come back to horror.
I've got my list of what I think would be.
It's Halloween. We're not
You
forcing
can shoot down
anything.
my list.
I have a horror movies on in the background. Horror movies on the wall. Bill, what did you think of the Green Knight? Some people might think it is. Is there any horror to the Green Knight? If you were 12, maybe.
Yeah, it's a horrible ending. I mean, you know, for the main actor.
Oh, okay. I thought.
I mean, it's a sad.
Okay.
It's not a good tale of Shakespeare.
Was it? Did you like the ending?
I like happy endings.
Oh, okay.
It was kind of.
Well, then you would like that the director calmed the ending way down for you.
Oh, is that right?
Oh, yeah.
Really? I would be interested to know what was going to be.
It wasn't just going to be a quick little comment that the Green Knight makes at the end of the movie. It was more like, let's show what happens.
Really.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they cut away there. You just assume.
I thought it was a great movie. I want to rewatch it again. I feel like right now I need to just like pause and not allow any more new movies or anything to come in my head.
So you can catch up on all these movies
I'm
that
backed
are...
up. I
know.
bought like 10 4K movies that I've only watched like partials of.
Well, they keep coming out.
I think if you're bored, like you guys you've seen a lot, Green Knight is different, and you will appreciate the uniqueness of this retelling of an old Shakespearean story of some sort.
At least it's a movie that if you watch so much stuff and you're like, is there anything that I haven't seen that would be unique?
I'll just tell you though that after I watched that, then I watched Night Teeth.
Okay.
And I love Night Teeth.
Okay.
Because it was fun.
Okay.
Popcorn.
Yes. Right. Yeah, I mean...
True.
The Green Knight is more of... It's like... I don't know. It's just like kind of a...
Beautiful?
An edgy... No, I don't want to say edgy. I don't want to say like independent film, but it just got that feel of like not a mainstream movie. It's more of something that is catering to people who just really enjoy, a really good film. Because it does have great cinematography and costumes and
good
sound,
good acting, I guess.
Good, yeah. I mean,
although I would not have cast those people. I would not cast an Indian as a knight.
Oh, I would have. I
You
thought
know,
he was great.
He is from India. Okay, it didn't make sense that his parents were both English or Irish, had Irish accents.
They were
his
his
father
parents.
had
were
red
they?
hair.
No, those were his uncles. That was his uncle.
Okay, but still the same bloodline. Our
He's
Uncle
a
Jimmy
bastard,
looks like.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, everybody was fucking everybody back then.
Yeah.
I don't know who was going to come
Luckily, he wasn't half
And
orangutan.
I can't say her name, but Alicia Vikander.
Alicia Vikander.
Vikander.
Okay, she was kind of good as the wife that he didn't take.
But then but how about when she was Joel Edgerton's wife? You know, the castle. She played 2 parts in the movie.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. That's.
Oh, then she was pretty.
Yeah, she was gorgeous then.
That's right.
And so it was
So if you like Alicia,
okay. Well, I guess the opinion
subtle.
is
It was a subtle movie.
Bill gives it a.
I'll give it a Wednesday.
A sleepy Wednesday. Is it a recommend or not recommend? That's how we do it here.
I'm gonna say.
You
can qualified recommend, as Don had described it.
Who would you recommend it to?
To those elitists that are
like me.
Yes,
film.
You want to see something kind of different.
Film connoisseurs who enjoy, a surrealistic interpretation.
Well, let me tell you,
of a story.
Because it's not your mainstream Hollywood kind of movie.
Let me take you to the home theater. It's beautiful.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And the soundtrack and the sound of the movie is quite incredible.
Now, okay, well, that's enough to make you watch it.
Right.
I know it's nothing like it at all, but another weird-ass movie that doesn't appeal to a lot of people, but it's still really good, like The Lighthouse.
Phenomenal.
Also, I wouldn't recommend it to a lot of people, but
yeah,
I liked it too. I don't know. I've kind of put it in that same. It's very different, but it's kind of similar in that it's
it's not mainstream Hollywood.
If you watch a lot of movies and you just love to see a quality film.
I think I'm going to start recommending more stuff to people when people ask me. You go, I don't want to. They're going to look at me weird.
Right. I always recommend the most generic shit.
But I think you might be able to just shock somebody into liking something. If they really are they just making conversation going, have you seen anything? Like a guy at the gym the other day, he was like, I need something. I've seen everything. Give me something that I absolutely haven't heard of or anything. And I said, did you see The White Lotus yet? No.
Oh, my God.
And he was on his way to Hawaii, going to sleep in a tent on the beach for a month.
Fuck.
He's like a kind of vagabond kind of guy. Wedding photographer.
Oh,
And
that sounds like a fun life.
yeah, so he's just gonna like fuck off in Hawaii, and I'm like,
I want to do that.
yeah, I know. Not married. That's what he gotta do.
Well, that sounds good. So he's gonna get HBO Max and
No,
watch that on his iPad.
He has all that stuff, but he didn't hear of the White Lotus, so I was like, you got to watch.
Yeah,
that.
that's pretty perfect for what he's going to go do.
Right, but I mean, in general, even if Hawaii isn't, don't you think that's like,
Yeah, it's kind of perfect.
That's a great show to watch
Yeah.
to recommend to people.
yeah,
Perfect.
and it's shocking. It's got all kind of things happening. Right,
Oh.
you're gonna get mad. You're gonna be offended. You're gonna laugh.
That's pretty mainstream. I mean, but that's a terrific show.
Mainstream. There is like hard male anal pounding in that movie.
That's pretty mainstream.
In a
Getting to be
main-
mainstream nowadays.
I was just watching Shameless on Netflix. That's
Okay.
pretty fucking
Okay.
mainstream on
All
that.
right, all right. I mean, it was hilarious. So
Yeah, I mean, hey, more power to you.
it's like watching the rise and fall of somebody.
Over and over.
Over
Okay.
and over. Okay, so Bill, let's go on to something else. You're somebody that has HBO Max, correct?
Yes.
And you still decided. You haven't even told us the story yet.
Yeah, I'm
why
anxious to hear it.
all of a sudden you said, I'm not going to watch Dune on HBO Max that I have already in my house with a new subwoofer. I'm going to go to the IMAX
The
theater.
IMAX.
Yeah, it was filmed in IMAX, and let me tell
But
you,
you don't have your new TV yet, so.
right now, I'll tell you. First of all, excellent film. Thumbs up all the way.
Okay.
Highly recommended. I rated a Friday, Saturday. I not only saw it, then the next day I watched the whole thing all over again on HBO.
Oh, there.
Oh, wow.
So what does that tell you?
After seeing it on the IMAX?
Yeah. So
Was that
Friday
the-
night
was-
I saw it in IMAX
For the first time.
for the first time.
Ooh, that's
and
interesting.
it was great. I had chills.
Did you have a good memory of the old one? Because I'm one.
I do.
I'm one that has zero memory.
Well, we talked about this on our last
Right.
podcast.
I don't even know if I saw it, but I have no memory of the original Dune. So it was completely fresh.
We talked about the fact that this is a two-parter. We talked about the fact that we were wondering if the first one, was sleepy because they tried to pack so much in
Right.
to the story. What did you think, Bill?
Well, and that helps me a little bit because when they talk about all these different names, the House of Atreides, the Harkonnens, and the Bene Gesserats, and all that, I knew what they were talking about.
Yeah, I need cue cards for that.
Okay,
stuff.
Right.
So it helped a little bit there, but it was still since it's part one and not putting it all together. So it's a 2.5-hour movie. You could definitely understand it. There was no problem understanding it, and it was pretty good. In fact, I go, damn it, I wish I was ready for part two, but that doesn't come out until 2023.
Sure. Yeah, they just.
Oh my
gonna
God!
skip
they,
a year.
Really?
Well, they just basically a week after it was released, they greenlit the sequel.
Real
Since
quick,
it was so favorable.
I'm just
Yeah.
going to jump in real quick. Did you know that it was not a very expensive movie?
Really?
Yeah, I believe it was only like a 95.
You're kidding.
$95 million movie. And if you do know, well, excuse me, I just
That's impressive.
just walked into my mic. A lot of shots were completely blurred in the background. A lot of sand. I mean, it doesn't. You don't need. You know,
That's true.
You know what I
But,
mean?
oh,
Seems
man,
like there was a
just
lot of
gorgeous,
CGI that I thought
there was
would cost
some
a lot.
gorgeous, very cool, futuristic
Well,
flying things.
I want-
They had helicopters that
I
looked like a
love
dragonfly.
The dragonfly helicopters we talked about. Oh, fantastic!
and that concrete tube thing that's flying in the sky.
Right, that sort of like spits out like little seeds of
of people flying
of spaceships
spaceships
and
come out of it.
bombs and whatnot. How about even? I love the concept of the force field that everybody had.
Oh,
that you could
yeah.
just touch yourself.
Was that in the original one?
Yeah, I think they had something like that, but they didn't.
It was so
They couldn't have done that back then.
Right, they didn't. They had something like it. I mean, you knew that there was a force field.
Here's the big one that we talked about it on the last episode. The difference between this sort of inner dialogue from the first one to this one, and how they that whole like being able to command somebody to do something by using your like special voice or whatever.
Maybe the force.
The weirding voice.
Yeah.
It's called the weirding voice.
Is that what it is? Okay. What
You'd
did you
have to
think
have
about
just
that?
the right pitch and everything. His mother. So his mother is part of the Bene Gesserit line of women who are trying to breed the ultimate Messiah, who will have a prodigy eventually.
Yes.
Who will be able to bridge time and space.
The
That's
one
all.
of sorts.
Yes. And I just like in The Matrix where Neo was, is he the one? Is he? A lot of those moments in this movie where it's very cool. Well, how can he be the one? He's just like so young and he's so skinny.
Yeah.
And yet
he can't even do the voice thing very
and
good.
yet he would do cool things in the movie. Timothy Chalamet.
He seemed, at least to me, I don't know what you thought, but like perfect casting.
I thought it was really good.
Well, and it was
'Cause he
perfect to
seemed-
cast him with Zendaya. I mean, they look like they could be brother and sister kind of. They have the same face.
Or
Well, he
definitely
seemed-
a really good looking couple.
He seemed like he would be a good, son of Oscar Isaac.
He does.
He
right.
seemed like
that
given that
Rebecca
Ferguson was his mother.
Right, because he's got this English look to him.
Right. Rebecca Ferguson, Oscar Isaac could come up with a Timothy Chalamet.
I didn't mean that. I meant like
baby.
He looks like a young kid. Like he really does look like a young rich kid.
Yeah, I mean,
Right? Yep.
absolutely.
And
he's born in 1995.
I was thinking that he'd be like way too thin and frail to do this. I mean, his last movie, Know My Name or something, where it was a gay
Call
love.
Me by Your Name.
Oh, Call You by My Name.
He did a lot in between that.
Well,
you know what? He was
very talented.
He was
could
in
do
The
so
Night.
many things.
He was in The Night.
The Night?
Yeah, where he was the.
You mean the king?
The king. Where
The
it was,
King.
that
That's
was-
the one.
With all
That's
that. I need to write that down because that is a movie I need to rewatch.
Yes.
That was excellent, and he was excellent. I forgot about
I'm
that.
rewriting that down right
Yeah,
now.
The King.
that's the one that I was going to mention. And you know who else?
Anyway,
is,
we're getting off the topic.
Yeah,
He was
that's
good.
okay. That's
Good
okay.
acting.
Sean Harris is in that. Who was?
I
in
want to
The
get off
Green
the
Knight.
subject.
Oh yeah. All right. You want me to mention anything more
I
about
mean,
Dune?
what about the visual experience of IMAX for Dune compared to your
Tiny little TV?
Your TV.
Well, I didn't sit up real close.
Okay.
I came to the theater late, and I wanted, so I was like 2/3 of the way back.
Okay.
And so you would say, Dave, it filled only maybe 30% of my vision, and yet,
Your field of vision.
so as I looked at it, this is what I'm seeing.
Okay.
Did it look as big as my theater,
It's not
or even smaller?
not like sitting 5 feet away from a 65-inch TV.
So
It was
how?
about like your theater, I guess, maybe a little smaller.
Okay. So you were pretty far back.
Yeah, but my God, the biggest, coolest thing about this, I mean, there's a lot of cool things. We talked about the cool actors that are in it. There's so many names there. You didn't mention David Bautista. You didn't
Oh, yeah.
name, there's others, Momoa and all
I didn't
that.
like
Momoa.
David Bautista in it actually.
Well,
we
he's
mentioned-
a mean ass. He's cutting off heads
Right.
in this one.
He was doing Negan.
Skarsgård.
He was just bashing heads.
Josh Brolin. I mean, everybody's
right.
great.
So they got good acting.
Javier Bardem.
Oh yeah, he's Silgar.
He was great.
He is the
Wow,
like
Bill-
the head of the
Bill's doing
The
this without
sand-
notes.
he was the head of the sand people called the Freemen, which was very cool. How they wear this suit that
Yeah.
they only loses like a thimble of water in a
Love
whole
that.
day. So
Love
you
that.
go to the bathroom or whatever, or sweat.
Just
It
drinking your own
recycles it,
pee.
filters it, and you're then drinking it later.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're
Okay.
doing stuff like that in
Could
California
that work
now.
if you never evaporated any water?
I would love that.
If it was filtered, because remember,
what do they call those suits? I forgot what they call them.
yeah, they had a cool name.
Suits or something.
Yeah,
but
something
obviously,
fitting.
if your body has so much water in it, and you could seal it all up so it wouldn't get away, and you could redo it, It is a technology that's probably possible.
Yeah, well, I mean, they do it on a big scale, literally in California, where they're recycling water, your toilet water and all that stuff. I'm sorry, it goes through a filter, and you can drink it.
That's why
later.
California is not that great of a place.
Yeah, come to Wisconsin, where we have a giant freshwater lake.
They gotta figure out how to desalinate that ocean.
We just mix all our water with alcohol.
Yeah. Anyway, the coolest thing about this is the sound, the music. Did you know that they actually created instruments that are unique? That
did not,
because he wanted a unique sound. Remember? So this is who's the director of this one?
Denis Villeneuve.
Okay, Denis Villeneuve.
Yeah.
I can't. Did he do Fifth Element?
No, he did not. He did Blade Runner.
Okay, because in Fifth Element, the guy wanted totally trippy music that would sound like the future and all that. Well, this guy, Denis Villeneuve, he did that same thing here. So they actually invented instruments so that when they played it, people would say, "Well, I've never heard that before." Yeah, I was listening to on HBO. They have all these little 5-minute blips about the movie.
Luc Besson did The Fifth Element, but also a very notable director that has
French.
he's French and just a lot of vision, you know.
I can blast us, you guys. I can't get you to stop talking. I was trying to see if any of this.
Do it.
We're loving it.
I was hoping that some of these instruments Bill was talking about would be in this clip, but
it's got to be one of them right there.
It's a great soundtrack.
They didn't show in the blip what the instruments were, but it's so powerful, the sound. It's ethereal, and ethereal means spiritual and all that. And sometimes they have women singing that sound like angels, and it's very dramatic.
Do you have any?
It's great.
Do you have any? Do you have any 2049 music?
Oh, I
available?
do. Oh, I could throw that.
Because that's the other one that he did that was so notable, and that also has that droning vibe to it that just is like a huge part of the movie.
Yeah. Well, I just love the sound of this music, this movie. It was so, you go to see. And by the way, thank you, David, for fixing my sound system, because when I came home, you had asked, how did it sound at home?
Okay.
It sounded as good as the theater.
Oh, there you go.
Nice job.
Yeah.
I got to get you downstairs, and I want to.
You got to hear this.
All those
new
episodes
bass
of
that I
AV
have.
Rant that you listened to.
Yeah, it was not
off.
bad. I mean, it wasn't quite as loud. The theater, they turn it up quite high, but it was great. And this, talk about bass. You like Night Teeth? You were talking about because of the bass and all that.
Right.
There's
Thundering.
tons of bass in this.
Oh yeah, Bill. It's
Dune is gonna knock you off your chair.
yeah, definitely. Well, I've seen it.
So anyway,
Wow.
loved it.
There you go.
Oh, and you said, why did I see it at the theater? Well, somebody said that it was interesting that when you look at the reviews, the people who saw it in IMAX had much higher reviews and liked it a lot better when they saw it at the theater than people that saw it at home. Now, not everybody has a home theater like David,
That's
right?
the thing, probably, because
Well, the thing also is that
you lose a lot.
Yeah.
I watched it. It took me 3 times to get up to about the 40-minute mark before I went about 35 minutes asleep, maybe 40 asleep. Then I finally watched it midday, and it was phenomenal. Like it that movie, the first 40 minutes of it, the music is flowing in and out. Luckily, it occasionally thunders of bass, but it put me to sleep.
Well, see, this was 6 o'clock. That's when the movie started at the theater.
Okay.
So you're awake. I just had dinner. I go there and awake. 65 people in the audience. So it was, pretty, for a small, it's a tiny IMAX theater. So I would say it was like, almost 35% filled.
Okay.
Not
Interesting.
It had a very good crowd, but there was a few people clapped at the end of the movie, which is rare, and Anyway, when you're in a theater and you're trapped, you can't go to the kitchen to get something, and nobody's gonna, you
look
can't
at
have
your
cell phone on.
But you can fall asleep
Focus.
though, because
true.
it's very comfortable. But you know what?
But I did not fall asleep.
That IMAX theater you go to, what I remember, because I was there one time, it has crappy chairs, which probably lets you not recline and
Right.
fall asleep. They're
ordinary
a little
chairs.
less comfortable, so you're
they're-
not like sleepy.
They're the old kind of.
they're the old kind that
Sure.
the seat just folds down.
Yeah, just a regular chair.
Right, it doesn't heat up, it doesn't vibrate, it doesn't, fold out. It's
right.
not made out of leather like all the new ones are now.
Well, that's sometimes a good thing.
Yeah, so I was just focused on the movie, and it was great. It was
There
great.
you go.
Not the best movie that I've ever seen in my life, but it was great.
Yeah.
No.
I think because we've talked about it for a couple weeks now, I mean, I think it's a good movie. I mean, it's kept us interested. It's kept us, like, talking about it. So, of all the stuff that's coming out, and that has come out for this year, I think it's one of the best movies. I'm going to say, I think it's going to win some awards.
Could be.
I wish I could actually remember everything that was out this year. We'll have a show like that coming up shortly.
Yeah.
The
No.
Baron, who's a Harkonian or something like that.
Harkonian, yes.
He's excellent.
Skarsgård. Yeah.
Oh, he's excellent. And in the first Dune, he was so ugly. They had like dripping with stuff and pimples and everything. He looked. I couldn't even watch him on the film. They made him to be. This guy is gross, but he eats real gross and all that.
But he's still just a big giant.
It won't make you sick looking at him.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's very strange, very cool. Since I had seen the first one. Oh, and by the way, the place was packed with people my age and your age. So this wasn't a young crowd that went to it. So I think a lot of people who are Dune, fans, went to see it again. I mean, there's been 3 of them so far, right?
I'm shocked.
There's one in the 90s. There's one in 2009.
No, just the two. Just the two.
Oh, okay.
Two. Yep.
Might have been a series or something.
There was a
like that.
series.
Okay.
There was
What
a
is that
Dune
little
series.
thing? Is this? Oh,
Is that a mini?
is that a mini iPad?
Yeah, it's a mini iPad.
Small.
Beautiful.
That's almost as big as my phone is.
Yeah.
Almost
Very
as
close
big
to
as
that.
Dan's
It's a
phone across
mini-
the street.
Mini iPad.
Dan's got one of those awesome flip folding phones.
Wow. Hey, Total Recall. That's the movie I just watched. I watched the Colin Farrell version.
Ooh.
I know it got
Not
bad reviews, but I kind of liked it. It was a little more serious than.
I like that Total Recall version. I actually liked it better than the first one. It was more serious.
Yeah.
When did you watch that?
I don't know. I'm gonna
I
be
think
watching.
it's on HBO or something.
I'm really
It's on
kind
one
of
of the
liking this little vibe here in this room with me sitting here. I'm
It's
probably
no fair. I don't get to see it. To look at my iPad. You guys
All
have
right,
a
we'll have to
giant
f-
70-inch screen
we'll have
behind
to flip
you.
coins next time.
You can fight for that seat over there, Don.
So
All
you
right,
want to talk more horror?
Done with Dune. What about
What
else
else
you
have
got,
you
Bill?
seen, Bill?
Hypnotic? Which you can see. It's like
the two of you could
Netflix has
review
the
that.
top 10, and this is in the top 10.
Okay.
Right?
So if you do like
You did
little-
give that a little bit of a review last week.
it's Katie
Seagal, right? Who we
Was
saw
in,
in Midnight Mass.
Midnight Mass.
right. Her husband. I don't know if you see who it is right there. Her husband is like the horror director lately. He does a lot of stuff. So she's getting cast.
Is it Richard Ovid?
No.
Right, she's going to be the queen of horror, and yet this isn't like a real horror movie at all. It's just a little.
It's a bad doctor movie.
Mike Flanagan is
doctor
her
movie.
husband.
Okay, right.
I mean,
Mike
if you watch
Flanagan.
movies like this, it's, I didn't have it spoiled, but, you
kinda predictable.
You pretty much go, okay, there's a doctor. He's going to be the bad one.
Yeah, it's predictable and yet still fun to watch.
Right. So but what I liked about it, okay, of course,
Dr. Colin, is he the bad guy?
is for a home theater, this movie had incredible effects where instead of like the sound spinning around you, okay, because I have speakers everywhere on the ceiling, everything, it like in some hypnotic parts of it, the sound would go over the top of you and only end up just in the back. Nothing in front at all for quite a while.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, so it was
purposefully using the sound to create that atmosphere.
Yeah, I mean, you're trying to do with Atmos, they try to do interesting things, but I've never seen that where the sound completely left the entire front stage, nothing there, and it was all just on the back.
And
then the bass, of course, in this movie was also pounding.
So if you
Real
want to
low
see kind of
frequencies.
a fun, slightly scary movie, mystery,
drama, horror, mystery, thriller.
it is very light.
Very light. It's a trainer.
This is So gals,
this
if you
just
want
came out.
something that's a little bit scary, see this one. Or guys, I thought it was fun. But,
here, can I give
it's
you?
not a Saturday night kind of movie, but it's.
I'll give
kind
you a
of fun one.
synopsis if you want.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
Sure.
we're just talking.
A young woman seeking self-improvement enlists the help of a renowned hypnotherapist, but after a handful of intense sessions, she discovers unexpected and deadly consequences.
Now, I suspected him immediately, even before I hit play on the movie, just like, okay, there's a doctor. But I was impressed, like, the first time she met him, I'm like really ultra analyzing this guy going, do I see any weird freakiness? He seemed really normal.
He's got great charisma. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
He was
you'd want
playing
him-
it real straight so that you wouldn't try to suspect him.
Yeah.
But he's like a good, handsome guy. I'm thinking, I'm going to hypnotize these women. And he's taking all beautiful women and hypnotizing them.
We're not going to spoil
We
it
don't know what's
completely, but,
going
Does
on.
he then have sex with them? I mean, isn't that what you do?
No.
Yeah, but that wasn't what was necessarily going on.
There's a little...
Really?
The hitch of this
maybe a
movie is a
little
little
Is that
different.
too obvious?
Yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah,
a
it's
movie that you're going to figure out, but the absolute answer might be a little...
There's a couple of twists here and there.
A
that
little surprise
You
for
think, So,
Netflix.
Netflix.
Boom.
Yeah, bam.
What was the movie we watched where... Oh, was that another Sydney Sweeney movie where she was watching the people across the street?
Voyeurs.
Boy, now that's a movie that I would recommend for Halloween.
Yeah.
If you want a naughty...
You know what? I was thinking about
Talking
that.
about sexy.
Right, and that's on my list of like, is it horror? It's definitely not horror. That's kind of more like a thriller,
That's more like a...
suspense thriller.
Well, you
or
think of Alfred Hitchcock.
mystery thriller.
What was the one? The Window or something? Rear Window.
It's
Rear
Rear
Window.
Window with a lot of sex.
yeah.
Yeah, Rear Window with a lot of nudity. And
Bam.
sex. And yet,
Sorry.
very Hitchcock-like in that it's a constant mystery. You keep getting more and more clues.
Yeah.
You're leaning forward on your chair because you want to know what's next.
Yeah, right.
And I
And then
can
the- and
tell
then
you that I did not expect what happened.
Double
Okay.
twisty twist,
This
twist,
is
twist.
you can't. Unlike Hypnotic,
Oh.
you can't figure the.
Oh, okay.
A person like me that wasn't
Voyeur.
trying to figure it out.
You can't figure it out.
I
voyeur.
didn't. I wasn't able to figure it out.
Right.
I'm going to look
I mean,
at
it
my
really
phone
threw
real
me
quick.
for a loop.
Yeah,
just
I
wanna
enjoyed that
see-
one.
I mean, it's like a twist and then another twist and then another twist and then another twist. I mean, it was very clever.
That's how you have to write these days. People
But
are
it's probably the sexiest movie I have seen in many years.
There was a lot of sex in it. Yeah, the
was
dude
almost
was a
porn.
photographer, and every time he would get somebody in his house, he would have to have sex with them before he took their pictures. And the neighbors were like, "Damn,
This
what
guy's
the-
having a
damn,
lot of
he's
fun."
having some fun over there. Mm-hmm. Let's watch him while we do it."
I was trying to look to see if I had any screenshots of anything
Of
interesting.
Sydney Sweeney.
No, of anything interesting in the news. Usually, if I see an article, I hit it. What was the? No, I don't want to talk about it.
There's a
I'm
lot
drinking
of
too
stuff.
much.
I'll tell you another quick little mystery one.
Yeah, tell me.
Tell me.
This is a great one for like Dave. You're working on your bathroom, fixing it or whatever. You just want to almost listen to it on your phone. It's called The Guilty with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh, I watched it.
Okay.
Great movie. It's like just him. I mean, it's basically
Is that the 911
he's
operator?
just a
Yeah,
911
exactly.
operator. He appears to be like he was a on-duty cop.
Right. That got
That-
demoted. or-
Demoted. You'll find out the whole story will kind of unravel, but he is just a very intense 911 operator.
He's like a 911 guy that's also being a detective at the same time, and he knows all the cops. So he's calling up his buddies and go down to this house. I think there's a problem.
It's following one story, isn't it? Isn't it like basically he's trying to
like a kidnapping, something like that.
Just trying to
so he's trying to help somebody.
Right.
But there's a couple of twists in it, very interesting.
Right.
And
he's just not answering the phone. He's trying to solve the thing.
It was quite a quite intense movie.
Yeah,
that's an interesting thing to do, is to try to.
I mean, he's yelling and pounding his fist on the desk.
Probably difficult to create that much tension, given that he's just standing there, probably with a headset on and like talking into a phone.
Well, and then they're yelling at him he's losing his cool, so he actually went into the other room after his shift was over, and he found out that as long as he logs into the system, he can still get the same 911 calls.
Oh.
And so he continues his investigative 911 work. He's basically coordinating all these different cops to help, get the bad guys, or what he thinks is the bad guy.
Interesting. I like it.
I liked it.
Is Riley Keough in it much? The actress, the main actress?
Just her voice.
Just her voice, yeah.
Just her voice, okay.
Yep.
There's star of
Peter
the Lodge.
Skarsgård.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she...
And other things like Mad Max Fury Road, American Honey, Logan Lucky. She's a good actress.
Yeah, I'd
okay.
I think this Guilty is an excellent one to do while you're washing the dishes or doing the laundry or something like that. And occasionally you're just going to stop and you're going to have to listen to it and go, what?
Yeah, that's been out for about a month. That's another Netflix movie.
Okay. Anyway, that's a good one for doing the laundry.
What about general horror in general?
I was trying to get a name, but I couldn't think of it.
Let's see. We talked about The Night House last week.
The Night House.
You can rent that. It was a good one.
How about some... Let me just bounce some movies off.
Oh,
you
wait,
guys.
Tom Hardy.
Okay.
I finally got it. Okay, I'm sorry.
Do it. No,
Tom Hardy.
I've got.
Did
nothing.
you ever see the Tom Hardy movie where the whole film is shot from him? He's in the front seat of a car.
No, you talked about it. We did that.
I did see that. He is a manager of concrete.
Yeah,
and they're building a building, but he's got to get to his wife who's having a baby,
right.
And so and with concrete, if it doesn't just go perfect, you've ruined it.
That's what, like, Steve actually does the same kind of stuff. Like, he knows concrete that well.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, he does. Yep, he's concrete, man.
I thought he was all OSHA.
No, concrete. Concrete. He was pouring concrete in Africa. But what I was saying about that movie is that Jake Gyllenhaal movie, it's almost the same kind of movie where Jake Gyllenhaal is pretty much like, maybe not the same angle, but being shot constantly. There's no one else in the movie.
Talk about Tom Hardy. Yeah, he is an excellent actor.
Tom Hardy's so good.
And what was the name of that movie you're talking about? Do you remember?
I can't think of it.
Can't
we'll figure it
come
out.
up with it.
But I just watched another one with him where he's a totally different person. Inception.
Okay. Yeah.
Remember him in that?
Oh, yeah, of course.
He's got like a British accent and everything.
Yeah. I just watched The Dark or Batman. What is it? The Dark Knight. What's the last one? Dark Knight Rises?
Dark Knight Rises is where he says Bane.
Yeah, Bane.
Yeah.
And
2012.
That movie is phenomenal.
He's great in that. That is a iconic character he created. His version of
Anne
Bane.
Hathaway is in there. Catwoman.
Yeah. Is it The Drop? Is that the one you're talking about?
I don't know.
Is it Lock?
Lock. That's it.
Lock?
Lock. With an E at the end, right?
Lock with an E at the end.
Oh, there's Sydney Sweeney behind you, Don. Sorry.
Oh, you just
I
missed
don't
her.
want to make it you.
Megan Fox. Now it's interesting. Megan Fox was the sexy gal of 10, 15 years ago.
I mean, they really
New
did.
gal in town.
They didn't need to pay these girls to be in this movie. Was it Strickland? Look at that's the bad guy from John Wick. He's the one that killed the dog right there.
Oh, he's also in Game of Thrones. He was Greystone or something like that.
I don't know. I just saw Sydney Sweeney.
Okay.
I was
Turn around,
distracted.
Bill. Turn down. You're gonna lose it. How about?
How about?
Mama.
Mommy.
Okay. All right, calm down. Halloween. Is there anything else we should talk about?
How about some movies that I enjoy?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
That is in the horror genre.
Okay.
Now you can just shoot me down because I'm not a horror guy.
Yeah, I'll try to comment on every movie you say.
Okay. So recent favorites for me, we already talked about Nocturne. Terrific.
Fantastic.
What about I See You? Love I See You.
With
Oh my
Helen.
With Helen Hunt. Yep.
Yeah.
That's a weird. It's
That
not.
was very clever.
Very high tension. It was about those like, I don't know, what do you call them? Like people that like squatters.
Yeah.
They
Like
find
somebody
out when
like-
you're on vacation and they live in your house while you're gone.
Right. And then there was like some
If I just went
Some
in like
murdering.
the last like 2 years,
mystery.
that movie would be up in my top 10.
Yeah. And thank
the
you
last
to
Where can you see I See You?
that's a good question,
Shudder.
Bill.
I'm imagining Shudder.
Mary, remember Mary Lewis?
Yeah.
She turned us on to that.
She's
So-
always demanding. You need to watch this.
And
You need
she's
to watch
right,
this."
always. How about some 90s horror?
Okay.
Just a little bit of 90s flavor for you. High Tension.
Oh my God.
It's called High Tension?
Yeah, High
I
Tension.
never saw that. So one of the
that's
guys
actually
on the-
not 90s. That's actually 2003. Sorry, but I love that one. It's
It's so good.
yeah. It's got a bit of a French flavor to it with Celia de France. But that's the
What's it about?
best friends Marie and Alexandria decide to spend a quiet weekend at her parents' secluded farmhouse, but on the night of their arrival, the girls' idyllic getaway turns into an endless night of horror. Basically, you've just got a guy who's it's a bit of a monster chasing women sort of situation.
In a creepy car or a
Creepy
truck.
car, but it's really good. The chase is it's all about that. How
This is
about
a
The
good seat, huh?
Descent? How about hey, no fair looking at stuff behind me.
The Descent. Oh,
The Descent.
like that.
It's in the top 10 horror movies of all time
Yeah.
on my list.
Are you kidding me? Wow. Well, that's very high. The Descent. Yeah. So they're descending into a cave, and
It's an all-female movie.
all female
They
movie.
get rid of the one guy in the movie is
it's just done well.
It is, yeah.
very early.
Very creepy, very dark.
Yeah,
Like,
you
it's in
can't
a
always see
cave,
what's going on. You're in
you're mysterious.
repelling further and further
But
down.
it was also a
Mysterious
kind of movie
monsters.
where
monsters.
you're down you're in a monster movie. You're in a cave, all women, but then they throw drama of someone is screwing someone's husband.
Oh, so there's a little bit of like
Actual
fuck
drama
you.
in there.
Yeah.
So
right
yeah, and then you find
social tension.
right and you find those things out at the wrong time. So
Definitely right up there. See that one holds up. You might want to watch that. Don't know where you can watch it, but watch it. How about these movies? Now this is a whole genre of horror movies that I know you guys don't like a lot, but they're out there.
I might like them.
The 2000s had the Final Destination series.
Love them. I know Bill likes them.
Oh, yeah.
I
that's
mean,
fun horror for me.
that's fun
How
horror.
many different ways can you die?
Right, it's get a bunch of good-looking people and
Cook 'em in a sun-
Nothing's too serious, right?
Suntan booth.
Suntan booth.
And they always had one where somebody's going. I mean, they had gotten through the whole movie without dying, right?
Right.
And this is one of those movies where everybody maybe that was on a plane that didn't die, now death is going to get them, and
Right.
they're going to die somehow, right?
Yep.
And she goes, "Not going to get me," and she's like on a street, on a sidewalk, "Not going to get me," and she just turns around and she's hit by a bus.
bam,
Bam.
bam. You
Dead
cannot.
meat.
Yeah. You're not until the movie's over. You're not safe.
Or you're a safe is dropped on you. Or,
And it was definitely one of those that like there was several of them, and so they just had to keep upping it, as they went along, like how these people would be crazily killed off.
yeah, like remember there was one where there was a lumber truck with all
Yes.
these. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was cool.
Wood. I mean,
Just rolling off and killing people.
Very fun, Don.
airplane crashes.
Good call.
Yeah, so that's a different genre.
Final Destination.
And
Final Destination.
I haven't
yeah.
run across
First
that.
one was in 2000.
I haven't run. Like when you're all my streaming services, that one doesn't pop up.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not sure where you can get it. I think you can probably get it. You can watch it on AMC Plus.
Don't got it.
Probably with commercials off of
Okay.
Prime. Like just look at it. You probably just go to Hulu.
You're gonna
there's
pay $3-4 to see this.
You might not, though. You might not. I don't know. How about series? There are a lot of good series. There's 2 series.
Midnight Mass.
Midnight Mass. But remember last year, Ratchet.
Oh my God!
Just bring it back up. I mean, it was
Ratchet is one that I really wanted to rewatch, and I think now it's been a while.
Right. It was like basically, one of them series where if you never watch it again, it'll be like a
I kind of
Did
wish
you like the ending of Ratchet? Didn't it get a little weird?
I think they kind of set it up for a sequel, didn't they? With her and is kind of trying to escape.
I don't want to change the subject
Okay.
to
All right.
like invasion, but I'm kind of wishing that something would happen to our satellites, a destruction where maybe I could just, stop getting input of new movies and just watch some discs.
Right, because you could
power's
rewatch,
out in the country.
You could rewatch Ratchet because
I got a generator.
Sarah Paulson is so awesome in it, and it's like 18 episodes. That's a lot.
It was great, and
Holy cow.
it looked beautiful with all that light green. The movie had a lot of light green in it.
Well, let me tell you, they do have a second season scheduled for 2021.
I loved when she would be coming down a hallway and they would have that light green glow, and then
Yeah.
her mood would change, and
Yeah.
everything would turn to red.
It was a beautifully done movie, yeah.
Beautiful.
Stylish, very stylishly done.
And I watched those on a little TV.
Yeah, gosh. Watch them again. That's a Netflix series. And then also, Sarah Paulson is terrific in many of the
Now you're able to
series.
see the timer, so you can look over there and
go.
see how much we've been.
Okay, well,
yapping.
I'll wrap it up quick here. American Horror Story.
It's really good.
yeah.
There's a lot of different
There's
versions
a
of
lot
that.
there.
Yeah. Take your pick. How about is this horror?
I'll let you know.
Let me tell you, one of my favorite movies with this actor in it. I'm sorry. I've had a couple.
Drum roll, please.
You Were Never Really Here.
Oh yeah, I heard about that, but I don't
Garbage.
think I've seen it.
What?
Are you talking about the Joaquin Phoenix movie?
Yeah.
Garbage movie.
You never liked that?
No, didn't like it at all.
Really? The one where he's beating people to death with a hammer?
Oh, wait, I mistakenly got the wrong movie.
Okay.
A traumatized veteran, unafraid of violence, tracks down missing girls for a living. When a job spins out of control, Joe's nightmares overtake him as a conspiracy is uncovered, leading to what may be his death trip.
That's
or
not
his
a
awakening.
horror movie. That's more like a thriller kind of movie that just went too far.
It's got a lot of
It went into like
violence.
NC-17 violence.
I thought it was fantastic.
It was
Just an hour and a half.
It's a little too much for me. I still don't like movies that are. I don't want the violence to be so real. Like
I'm
want
really surprised to hear you say that, Mr. Horror.
No, I mean,
I'm glad to hear you say it.
well, I like to have a little that's crazy.
Yeah. Okay. And I was just putting it out there to see, is that horror? I guess that it's not horror.
Because
that's
there's-
more,
there's
you can
n-
have violence.
There's
and not
nothing
horror.
supernatural about it. That's
No.
me just beating you with a hammer.
All right, how about
guess.
The Color of Space with Nicolas Cage? Horror?
More sci-fi.
Yeah, more sci-fi. And
Sci-fi
to me,
horror.
it was a little actually over hyped.
All
I
right.
prefer Mandy to that.
Okay, well,
Okay.
all right, yeah. I mean, Mandy would definitely be horror. That is, you got to put that on your list if you
It
want to
was
see something
notable
different.
because it was a H.P. Lovecraft story.
Ah.
And so everybody was very psyched on it.
I didn't think they went far enough with it. That's all.
I don't. She didn't that the one where she cut her fingers off like carrots.
Have you seen The Dark and the Wicked?
No, but you
Okay.
said that one's tough.
That's the best cutting of.
Did you
fingers.
guys ever see Lovecraft Country?
You know what? I watched
half of it.
I watched about half of it.
I watched it all the way.
Wow. Should I finish it, Bill?
Yeah, because each show is different. I mean, it has a different angle. It
What's the
might
angle?
even have a different. Yeah, it might even have a different director or something. They were so different. They were all connected. They're Lovecraft stories, and they have similar characters, but they all take a different twist.
Interesting.
So, like Black Mirror, they're different stories.
Yeah.
I would definitely recommend
finishing it up.
Finish it up. Absolutely.
It's definitely horror. I mean, it's there's some good stuff in there.
Keep talking while I get my.
Yeah, it's definitely
soundboard
horror,
back
and
up.
yet it finally has some happy endings. There's a lot of
really
race kind of stuff dealing with it because it's it's all black actors that are dealing with
being
the
around
horror of white people in the 60s.
Yeah.
But then it's
50s
also real weird horror too. There's some really cool weird horror. All right, is that a show?
I still haven't changed this ending. I know YouTube
okay.
doesn't like it.
It's all right.
There you go, horror. God,
we cannot stop talking under an hour lately. That's an hour and 20 we're going about here.
I'm shocked.
A lot of chatter.
Right,
Cannot-
yeah. I mean,
Not a movie.
So what do you think about our? I mean, for me making these mic stands in like 10 minutes before the show,
I think it's pretty good.
they actually don't
should
have.
keep it.
They're not actually vibrating.
No, I love it. It's kind of cool. I mean, it's fitting for us.
I'm touching the table. I'm touching the table, and normally you could hear my hand,
Yeah.
the vibration, and
Well, you have yours on a piece of rubber, I think.
but you're on the same table, so
Yeah, it works.
Hey, I
I
think
got a giant bottle of Tanqueray in front of me.
we're gonna just continue to kind of experiment with this.
well, I was going to make some
podcast
really
crew.
high tech mounts for these, but I might drop the tech quite a bit.
Hey,
Maybe the alcohol in here might have something to do with the vibration.
we were gonna go handheld. Should we go handheld for the last 1 minute?
Oh God.
Pull it off of here. And
Yeah,
just
let's try that. All right, everybody.
taking the mics
Now
off.
this is how we were going to do it, Bill. We were going to do a handheld
So
show.
unusual to
Everyone-
be loved by anyone.
Don, look at
Da-da-da-da.
Don, look at the camera.
It's so unusual to be loved by anyone.
We just lost our one listener.
There you go. All right, Don. Now you have to say
feels-
goodbye.
Okay. Goodbye.
Sorry.
Over and out.
You don't need to go that quick.
Okay. It's been fun though.
Yeah, it
Happy
was-
Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
I could keep talking about horror movies, man. It's fun.
We got a couple of beers left. Maybe
Well,
after
all right,
the mics
so-
are turned
Well,
off.
I got a new podcast, and it's going to be all horror. So you can feel free to stop
wait.
by anytime.
Can't wait to hear it.
Later.